Hey everybody, Edo here, and this is Meteor, sent to me by the good folks at Mayday Games and designed by Mike Young. And this is an extremely fast 5-minute cooperative game where you are rushing to save the Earth from impending meteor shower. And it's really interesting. It actually comes with a whole bunch of, advanced mode, variant type cards. I'm going to skip that and focus on the core game here. And I do have to say, for such a quick game, it really lives up to that 5-minute promise. Learning how to play takes a few more minutes than 5 minutes. Is a little bit of a... It's got a lot of mechanics going on, and they're simple, but for some reason it took me a while to figure it out and working through the instructions. But once I had it all in order, it's neat and unique and pretty cool if you want to have a quick play cooperative game. One other neat thing, or interesting thing is, the game actually is on a timer. You play 5 1-minute segments, but they don't. This version of it, the original version that came with the Kickstarter, I think had timers. This one does not. This manual actually suggests you use your phone to time the minute, which is really a convenient way to do it. And I sat there for a little bit like, how did I feel about it requiring a phone or some other timepiece? And I guess at this point everyone has a phone. So it's actually not that unreasonable. It's sort of like saying, do you have a pencil? You need a pencil for this game. So anyway, so how does it play? In essence, each player is going to have a hand. And the hand has rocket cards, fuel or resource cards, because some of them are batteries, some of them, there's 4 of them, 5 types of rockets, 4 types of fuel. And then in addition, there are some, building cards as well, which turn into little bonus cards. But essentially what you're doing is you lay out a certain number of, your hand size and the number of meteor are based on the number of players. In a 2-player game you have 5 here, and you have 3 rocket sites, which are these. Normally there's 1 per player, but in a 2-player game you're going to have an extra one, which you'll see why in a second. And what you're going to be doing is essentially trying to play a rocket, say this 2 rocket, which requires a resource, say this fuel cell, in order to launch it, and you're going to scream launch, at one of these rockets, these meteors. Now the meteors are one of the 3 numbers represented here. So this one happens to be a 2. So what's going to happen is, so this is a silent game, or not silent. You can't talk with the other players unless there's a card you can get that lets you put a communication plant in place. But normally, everyone's just playing to their launch pad, looking at what happens, and trying to figure it out and work together without talking. But you will say something like a launch. And a launch says, I'm going to shoot this rocket off at one of these, and multiple rockets can fly at the same time. Or pass, which means I don't have anything to do. If everyone passes, you're going to end the day. So, 5 days, each one's a minute. If you pass and end all the way through, and you can't successfully take out all the meteors, one of them's going to hit, Earth is gone. So, the other thing that's going to happen is you're going to shoot this rocket, and when you shoot it, if it's lower than the number of the actual meteor, 2, it's gonna fail. So let's say I didn't know this was the 2. I thought it could have been a 3. I shot a 2 at it. If it was a 3, this would have been I would reveal it, but it would be a bust. 2 on 2 is great. You take it out, you keep on playing. If you do better than, if you overkill, if this was a 1 or perhaps this rocket was a 3, you'll still destroy the meteor. However, the day or the period ends and you go 1 back. So it instantly ends the round. And so most of the play is players have their hand of cards, and they are playing rockets or resources down, and people can help each other out to be successful. So if somebody played this rocket 1, which requires this red potion, whatever, probably not a potion, but these red chemicals, I could play it on there. The other thing that can happen is if you play 4 different resources or 4 different rockets on each other, you can then, or the same as well, you can switch out your cards and draw new ones. So that's the only way to draw cards. It's a lot to manage without talking to each other. Like, this game takes a couple rounds for the team. They're fast, but it takes a couple for everyone to get what's going on, and then it's actually fun and quick and interesting. It's pretty resource constrained. Like, this is a game where you're going to lose, and it's a tough cooperative game. It's a big box with not that many cards, but there's a lot of different variant modes. if you really like cooperative games and it's an interesting theme, I like the execution and delivery of it. Do check it out. This one might be one you want to play first. It's really got its own vibe to it, and certainly it would be great at a con and that kind of thing. So you might want to go that route first to check it out. But it's a neat idea, and it felt refreshing and different, and I certainly enjoyed it. And once I sort of grokked it and got it, I was playing it a bunch more, and we played a lot of hands in a row because it plays so quickly. So anyway. Do check it out, subscribe, share all that good stuff. Most importantly, play some great games. Thanks.